The natural beauty of Maine's winding rivers and streams attracts visitors from around the world and supports delicate ecosystems in every county and town.
But there was a time not too long ago when waterways here and around the country were dumping grounds for companies and municipalities alike.
50 years ago this fall, Maine played a major role in changing all of that. News Center Maine's David Guilford reports on the legacy of a landmark piece of legislation.
Give nature a chance, and it will find a way to thrive.
50 years ago, no one would have come to this spot.
Pete Dittesheim from the Natural Resources Council of Maine met us next to the mighty Kennebec River in Augusta. 50 years have passed since the Clean Water Act became law, when America's waterways faced a crisis.
In the middle of the summer, it would have smelled. They would have seen raw sewage. It was so polluted there was almost no fish that could survive in this river.
Perhaps the most consequential environmental law passed in the U.S. was born in Maine through Senator Ed Muskie.
And he was appalled by the pollution in the river. And he became so motivated to clean up our rivers.
Muskie drew inspiration from his hometown.
This is after he had a heart attack, Muskie.
As he grew up in Rumford, the town's unchecked paper mill dumped raw sewage into the Androscoggin River. Challenging his home's largest employer, Muskie authored the Clean Water Act to arm Washington and local governments to stop the dumping of pollutants.
So that's about 1921, give or take.
George O'Keefe is Rumford's economic development director.
At the levels of pollution that we had prior to the Clean Water Act, the mill itself was going to become unsustainable because the community was unlivable. So it wasn't really about choosing between one or the other.
50 years later, the mill has changed hands but still operates round the clock, while the Androscoggin winds alongside it, clean, attracting tourists not only to pass through Route 2, O'Keefe says, but to stay more and more often.
The first 25 years, I think there was a lot of treatment plants that got built, there was a lot of pollution controls that were put in place, there was a lot of work done, but I think that the second 25 years of what we've seen with the Clean Water Act to date has allowed us to actually cash in.
Muskie wasn't able to see these last 25 years of progress, but Dittesheim thinks he'd be proud.
The rebirth of this river is remarkable. It's remarkable for the economy of Augusta, for the quality of life of the people who live in this city. And what's happening here is happening in lots of other parts of the state of Maine.
David Guilford, News Center, Maine.